Good day, my dear students. I hope you are doing well and healthy, staying at home. My dears, I have come back to present to another lesson for you guys, and that is Unit 11. And you guys, are all aware that we finished Unit 10, and we did, all the exercises, and we explained all the topics. And guys, I would like to, remind you before we start with Unit 11, guys, do not forget to do the workbook, okay, the exercises in the workbook, because without doing the exercises in the workbook, okay, our efforts and, your, trying hard, or your hard work, would result in nothing important, okay. You need this, for your better understanding and for more practice, and also for your tests, okay. Please do not forget this. And guys, in the new unit, Unit 11, Space Travel, Lesson 1, on page 106, guys, we have, a story, and this is a continuation of, the story in Unit 10, and I will read the story for you guys, and you can listen to the story, using the audio as well, okay? Let's see, we will start with the first picture, and we have Kate and Tom. Kate, do you really think it's a shark? So they are looking at the sea, Tom, I don't know, but what is it doing here? Why is it so close to the beach? Tom is asking. The second, picture. Ed, look, it isn't a shark, it's a dolphin. Libby, it's in trouble, come on. So it looks like the dolphin is in trouble. Picture 3, Libby, Ed and Kate, can you go and tell Finn? Tom, we must pour water on the dolphin, but we mustn't pour water in its hole. That's how they breathe. See, there's a hole, on its head, on the dolphin's head. So this is how, they breathe. The fourth picture. Tom, how do you know what to do? Libby, I saw an interview on TV once. The presenter asked the dolphin expert what you did if there was a dolphin on the beach. He explained what to do. Okay, 1 hour later, Libby, it is getting dark. Tom, yes, but the stars are bright. Look, is that a comet or a shooting star? Okay, do you see that? Do you see that? Is that a comet or a shooting star? Libby, I don't know. Tom, let's just keep putting water on the dolphin. The sixth picture, Libby, we need to move this dolphin back into the sea. Tom, don't worry, the others will come back soon and they will help us take it to the water. Okay, so this is how they they kept pouring water on the dolphin. Okay, so the dolphin doesn't drown, because the dolphins are a type of fish, and when you take them out of the water, that makes living for them kind of difficult. Okay, and they will drown if you don't put them back in the water quickly. Guys, this is, how you read the story, and you can read and act it, as a practice at home. And when you finish that, you go to exercise 3, you have a true-false. Okay, you read the story, and then you do the true-false. I will not do this. I will leave this to you guys, and after reading it, please do this to check your understanding. Guys, on the next page, 100. Okay, my dears, on page 107, we have lesson 2, okay, and we have some new vocabularies, to learn, and they are written, all in this box with pictures. Okay, we have shooting star. This is a star, it goes in the sky. Okay, it travels in the sky and it is bright. Solar system, the sun and all the planets. That's called solar system. And comet is this beam of light. It is very bright. Okay, it travels at night. This is space station. Okay, this is a space station. Constellation, that is a group of stars together. That's called constellation. Telescope, it's an object. It is a tube. Looks like a tube. You look through the telescope to see things that are far away from you. Astronaut is someone who travels to space, and space shuttle. Okay, this is like a machine. It takes people, from Earth to space. Guys, now your job is to put these, words into these blanks. These are the definitions of these words. And your job is to, find the correct definition for, the words. The number one is done. Number two, a tube that you look through to see things that are far away, for example, stars. So that's telescope. Okay. Number four, a person that, travels in space, a person, that is astronaut, Number five, the sun and all the planets, that's called solar system. And I will leave the other ones for you guys. Working with words, guys, we have some, new phrases to learn. Come back when, someone comes back, that means they return. They come back from, a place to, their place. Come in, they enter a place, they come into a place. Come out, okay, they go out of a place. And come around, to visit a person at home. When someone is at home, you come around. That means you visit them. And your job is to, circle these words here. But you have to understand the sentence, then you can circle it. Number one is done. Look at number two. The rain stopped and the sun came out. Okay, looks reasonable. Number three. Hello, how are you? Please come in or back and sit down. So, in my opinion, it is come in. Because, it says, how are you? Please come in and sit down. It is the inviting someone. Okay? And the last one is for you as a homework to do. Guys, I want you to turn the page. We will not do the grammar in this lesson because we need to explain that in detail, fully. That's why we will leave it for the next lesson. And we will go to lesson 5, 100. Okay, my dears. Now we have lesson 5, page 110. Guys, this is your reading, okay? And it is about, dreaming in a spaceship, okay? And as you can see, it's about this boy, okay? He dreams, and in his dream he goes to, different places. He, travels, and, and he, does many things. And our job is to, go through the text, and you can, use the audio as well. And then after the text, we will answer, some questions about the text. Guys, listen carefully. I will read it slowly so you know how to read, the words here. Dreaming in a spaceship. I dreamed I was in a spaceship, flying through the stars. I passed a comet on the way as I headed off to Mars. Okay. I started at the scene before me. It was such a lovely view. A satellite spun round and round. Spun meaning spinning, okay, going round and round. But on and on I flew. The stars were as bright as diamonds. Okay, diamonds. In the darkness of the night, the moon shone like a precious pearl. It was an amazing sight. I flew through the rings of Saturn. I circled the earth below. Neptune shone with a dark blue light, and Venus seemed to glow. Okay? My spaceship landed on the moon. It was wonderful for me. So I climbed onto the surface to see what I could see. The ground was very bumpy. Okay, meaning it was like this, bumpy. There were moon rocks all around. Everything was very quiet, and I couldn't hear a sound. I walked around for a while, but there wasn't much to do. I found a flag and a rock or two, and then admired the view. My spaceship left and made a loop around the Milky Way, and then I felt that it was time to go back home that day. The next thing, it was morning. I was safe and snug in bed. I told my mom about my trip. What a lovely dream, she said. But I knew there was something real about my space trip to the skies. For I found a moon rock in my pocket, and there was a stardust in my eyes. Okay? There was stardust in my eyes. And if you look closer at this text, guys, you see rhyme. you know, rhyming words, meaning two words, you know, with the same sound in the end of each other. Okay, like below, glow. Okay, for example, view, flew. Okay, stars, Mars. And my dears, and you know, you can see many rhyming words, meaning rhyming words, you know, words with the same, you know, sound, you know, when you read them, they have the same sound in the end of the word. For example, like these, you know, me, see. Okay, night, sight, for example. Okay, around, sound. Okay, way, day. Okay, like these. Skies, eyes, for example. Guys, so this is the story of a boy, this young boy. He sleeps, okay, and in his sleep he travels. He travels, you know, through space, you know, in this space shuttle. And he describes what he sees and, you know, the scene in space, and walking, you know, on space and thinking about stuff, and, you know, finding a flag, you know, on the surface of space. Okay, and that is the whole story. And here it asks some questions about the text. This is for you. This is to check whether you understood the text or not. Look at the first one. Does the boy see a comet? Yes, he does. Okay. Does Neptune look green? Okay. Neptune shone with a dark blue light. Okay. So you could say, no, it doesn't. Okay. This is how you do the other ones. Okay. You go back to the text and you will find the answer. And guys, on the opposite page, page 111, exercise 1, we have some new words, and these new words are all underlined in the text, like diamond, you know, glow, surface, bumpy, okay, snug, these words. And our job is to find the correct, you know, description of the word. The first one is spun, spinning around, okay, like this. The second one, very expensive and special, that is precious. When something is very expensive and, you know, special, you call it precious. And it's a verb, to start going in the direction of a place. So heading off a place, meaning you go, you know, to that place. And when you have a feeling of warmth and, you know, comfort, when you are warm and comfortable, that means you're snug. You feel snug. And I will leave the other 4 for you. This is obvious, you know, the picture of a what? Or this one, or this one, or this one. Okay? Guys, in exercise 2, we have, as usual, our listening practice. So you all have the audio. And if you don't have the audio, you can go on YouTube and, you know, search for, you know, Unit 11 and the listening practice. You can listen to that audio and put these words into these blanks. I did 2 of these, and I'm sure you can do the other 3. Okay? The astronauts launch their spaceship and blast off into space. They leave the Earth far, far behind and fly to another place. They get to their destination. It's a space station in the stars, and there they study the planets Mercury, Venus and Mars. Okay, I will leave the other ones for you. Listen if you have to, you know, you can listen, you know, doubly or triply, 3 times, 4 times, it's you know, totally okay. This is a practice. And for exercise 4, okay guys, and now we have our, you know, speaking practice, exercise 4. Guys, I will ask you the questions, and you guys staying at home watching this video, you can answer, you know, the questions, and you can also use these options. Okay? And if you, you know, don't want to use these options and you want to use your own answers, totally okay. Look at the first one. It says, would you like to be an astronaut? So your answer is yes or no. Why not? Because it would be, which one? You know, dangerous, fascinating, frightening, or amazing? What would be the best thing in space? What would be the best, you know, thing in space? Okay, so you can, you know, pick, you know, one of these. Maybe you say, you know, a flag, you know, in space. Okay, totally, it's up to you. What would be the worst thing in space? Eating space food, feeling, you know, lonely, being uncomfortable. What would you most like to see in space? Yeah, I would like to see, you know, a huge, truck of ice cream, for example. Okay, this is my opinion. What is your opinion? Okay, so you can practice this, you know, at home. You can ask the question and, you know, answer the question here. Okay, this is a practice for you guys to improve your speaking. And thank you guys, I hope you understood this. I want you to turn the page and go to page 112. Okay, and this is lesson 7. Okay, this is the writing section of our unit. In this section we have poem writing. First, let me tell you what poem is. Okay, poem is a piece of writing. Okay, and in poem, you know, they use beautiful words and interesting sentences to describe things, to describe maybe the beauty of, you know, sun, the beauty of nature, okay, and everything beautiful. They describe it in, you know, poems. And this is a poem in the sky. This is the title of our poem. Okay, let's go through the poem. The sky is as dark as black paint. The moon is as white as snow. The stars sparkle like silver jewels, and all the planets glow. Okay, you all know jewels. Okay, sparkle, meaning they you know, show a very, you know, bright color. They have a very, you know, bright color, and they show it. And this bright color is you know, like the stars. You know, have you ever, you know, looked up at the sky and, you know, seeing the stars? That is sparkling. The stars sparkle. And, you know, the second section of our poem, the sky gets lighter quickly. The sun comes up in the sky. The birds all sing together. You can hear a cockerel cry. A cockerel is, you know, this one. You know, it's like a rooster. In the morning, roosters, you know, they cry. And they wake people up. And the third section of our, you know, poem is about, you know, afternoon. And this was about morning. And the first section was about, you know, describing night. Afternoon, the sun is as hot as burning fire. The sky is as blue as the sea. The clouds are as fluffy as newborn chicks. You know, they are fluffy as newborn, you know, chicks. And the birds rest in a tree. You know, these are the birds resting, you know, in the tree. And the last section of our poem is, you know, about evening. As you can see, you know, that is the moon. The world is as quiet as a sleeping child. There's a very gentle breeze. Breeze is a very light wind, you know, wind. The sun falls slowly from the sky. The sun comes, you know, down from the sky, and the moon shines on the sea. The moon, as you can see, you know, shines on the sea. Guys, in this poem, as you can see, as is used and like. We use as and like to say that something is like something else. Okay, we call that simile. Okay, simile is using like and as to describe and compare two things. Okay, for example, you say the sun is as bright as, you know, diamond, for example. Okay, and you could say that the tree is as tall as the clouds, for example. The tree is very, very tall. That is called simile. And simile is used here. And this is called, guys, this is called verse. Four, you know, 4 lines together. That is called, you know, verses of a poem. That is called a verse in a poem. Each line is called, you know, a verse, and this is called, you know, a stanza. Okay, I will not go into detail for this one. I just want to, you know, give you that information. And you start each line of a poem with the capital letter. Okay, the first, you know, word in a poem, you start it with a capital letter, and you use the rhyming words. Okay, for example, look at these: breeze, seas, okay, sea, tree, for example, sky, cry, okay, snow, glow. You use the rhyming words, words that have the same sound when you read them, like snow, glow. Okay, they have almost the same sound when you read them. And when you are done with this, guys, and you all understood this, we have exercise 3. Okay, guys, so this was our poem. Don't think of this as something difficult. This isn't difficult. It's very easy, and you can see it is only describing the picture. It is only describing the picture, and it is using simile. It is using as, and like to compare things. Okay, it is describing the picture, and it is using very simple words. It is very simple to understand. That is poem. Okay. And exercise 3, it says, what 2 sounds can you hear in the morning? That is for you. What you hear 2 sounds, in the morning. What are those? Where are birds in the afternoon? Are they, in the sky or, in the trees? Resting. Okay? Do you know this answer? And on, this exercise 4, it says complete the similes with the best words. Okay, so we are comparing 2 things. So our job is to put these words, the name of these things, into the blanks. Number 1 is done. Number 2, my cold hands feel like ice. Okay, feel like ice, meaning they are like ice, meaning they are, so cold. Number 3, the train is as slow as a tortoise. Okay, a tortoise is a type of, turtle. It is, moving slowly. Number 4, number 5, and number 6, those are for you guys. And the review, okay, I did like 3 questions, and you can do the other ones by thinking about the things we studied in this unit. Number 1, it says the sun and all the planets, what is the word? It is, the solar system. And number 2 is, how does Libby know so much about dolphins in the story? So Libby, she said that she saw it on TV. She saw it how they, treat dolphins on TV. Number 3, it says complete the sentence with the correct phrasal verb. Okay, so we have to use the correct, phrasal verb. Do you want to dash to my house for lunch? Come round. Okay, do you want to, come to my house for a short visit, for lunch? So this is, an invitation. And guys, I am sure you can figure out the answers of the, the other questions. And the last part is, this is the song, and it is in the audio. Listen to it and place these words into these, blanks. It is very easy. Listen to it if you, have to 2 or 3 or 4 times. It is very, very easy. Okay? And guys, now I want you to go to your workbook. Okay? I want you to give you your homework. Open up your workbook and go to page 98. Okay guys, now I want you to open up your workbook and go to page 98. Okay, 98. Okay, unit 11, and this is our writing practice, and this is a homework for you, but I want to explain it so you know how to do this homework. In the first exercise, it says complete the similes in the poem. So this is a poem. So your job is to complete the similes. Okay? So it is comparison. It is comparing one thing with another thing. And we have the first thing, but we don't have the second. Do you see these blanks? So your job is to put these words in the box into these blanks. The first one is done. The second one, falling to the earth as quiet as snow. Snow falls, to the earth quietly. Raindrops fall, shining in the sunlight like diamonds. When something shines, they say, it is shining like diamonds. I will leave number 4, 5, and 6 for you. Okay? You can figure this out. It is, pretty easy. Guys, for your writing, homework, this lesson, So you have to like create a poem, okay? And this is very easy. Do your best. If you can't do this, it is totally okay. Write, you know, something like this, and you can use these words, you know, in the blanks. It is totally okay to use these words, and if you don't want to use these, you want to, you know, you have your own words to describe summer. Okay, that's totally okay. Look at, you know, what I did. The sun looks as bright as light. Don't you ask me for my kite. So I am like comparing the sun, you know, to the light in brightness, because they are like each other, okay, and being bright. The sky is blue, the grass is green, don't be a friend, don't spill my bean. Okay, so these two lines, they rhyme, because, you know, the last words of these two, you know, sentences, or these two verses, they have the same sound when you read them. Green bean, green bean. See, they both have an E, you know, sound. Okay, and use your imagination. You can even search, you can go on Google and write a poem about, you know, summer. And it is this easy. You can use these words, just like, you know, me. Write something simple. Okay, thank you very much, guys. And on this page you have the review. Okay, it is very easy, but when we finish Unit 11, you can do this review, because at that time it will be easier. But your job for now, for your writing, you know, homework, is this. Okay, please do your best to do this. And thank you very much. Okay, guys, now, you know, we finished, you know, today's lesson, and you have your homework for, you know, the writing section. This section is, you know, important, very important, because we need writing practice as much as we need reading, listening, and speaking practice. Guys, my advice is, you know, for all of you, please do not forget to do the exercises in your workbook. Okay, when we finish a unit, okay, go to your workbook and try to do the exercises. It's okay if you don't know how to do, you know, some of them. It's okay, but do your best. The exercises are easy. Do your best to do the exercises in your, you know, workbook. And if we have time in the future, you know, I will give you time, and you can ask me your questions when we go back to school. But for now, we can only explain and, you know, go in detail in our class book, and the workbook is on your shoulder. Okay, so thank you very much for listening and watching. You've been great, you've been wonderful, and you've been doing, you know, great up until now. I hope you continue and you keep up the great work. I love all of you. I miss all of you. Thank you very much for listening and watching again, and bye bye.